And so it is.
Hi, I'm Leslie.
Hello, Leslie.
I'm here to activate more love, less fear.
And so it is.
Hi, I'm Rhea.
Love you, Rhea.
And I'm here to activate friendship and love.
And so it is.
I'm Venice,
Love you, Venice.
and I'm here to activate harmony for myself, my mother, and my siblings.
And so it is. I am Barbara.
Love you,
Barbara.
Barbara.
I'm here to activate a community. And so it is.
I'm Laura,
We love you, Laura.
and I'm here to bring beauty, magic, and wisdom.
And so it is.
I'm Todd.
We love
Love
you,
you,
Tyler.
Love you too. I'm here to activate tranquility.
And so it is. I'm Melissa Ballard.
Love you,
Thank you. It's my birthday today. So if you'll indulge me, I have 3 things I want to share that I'm activating, actually. So it's maybe a longer list than you guys, but one is that I'm here to activate what in my family we call an aria da capo, but in English it's called a full circle, basically. In film it's an aria da capo. And I celebrated Andrew Keegan's 21st birthday with him at the Sundance Film Festival. And nobody knows because he's ageless and youthful. But I thought it would be awesome to activate my 40th birthday, which nobody talks about in Hollywood, but I can't lie, I'm 40. Today. So I wanted to activate something that's called 40 Nights and 40 Days here. And it's a social media campaign that I didn't start called Sunsets for Shaolin. If you've heard about it, you're already activated. But if you haven't, Huffington Post featured a really moving story about realizing life fully and the beauty of life, even in the face of death, as this young man is facing due to cancer. But we all have challenges to face, and so there's something going on here, and the activation is going, but for 40 nights and 40 days, we'd like you to share your sunsets wherever you are. Here at Full Circle, you have like the most amazing sunsets. But share them from wherever you are, or past ones, future ones, and they're watching. The Post is watching, and Shaolin Shah, who is still with us. And so, even from your steps, or if you can come down
This is
to...
the longest activation.
I'm sorry.
It's totally fine.
But it's all 3 in 1. It's all 3 in 1. And Alora is going to be doing the wind dancing ceremony at the beach. So if you're here on the steps or down on the beach, please activate wherever you are. And thank you so much for 40 nights and 40 days, but really for your eternity, I'd like you to activate that joy. And then my hashtag is clean water is a human right, which is really relevant here. So I'd like to activate that too. So thank you.
That's a record.
I like to make records.
Totally fine.
My name is Chloe, and I'd like to
Love you.
celebrate
We love you, Chloe.
the beauty of this great throat chakra that's sharing such
Yeah.
great information with all of us, and I'd like to activate truth.
Hi, my name is Prescott,
Love you,
Love you,
Prescott.
Prescott.
and I would like to activate love, harmony, and abundance.
And so it is.
Hi, my name's JR,
We love you,
Love you,
Dad.
JR.
and I'd like to activate a deep knowing.
And
So
so
it
it
is.
is.
Hi, my name is Danielle,
We love you,
We love
Dad.
you, JR.
and I'd like to activate acceptance.
And so
And so it is.
Hi, my name is Eduardo.
we love you,
We
Aurora.
love you.
Thank you. I'm here to activate growth.
And so it is.
I'm Vishal,
We love you, Michelle.
and I'm here to activate ground movement.
And so it is.
You guys.
That'd be great.
Thank you. I'm here to activate peace and trust.
And so it is.
Hi, I'm Triani.
We love you.
Love you, Annie.
Thank you. I'm activating love, always love.
And so it is.
Hi, my name's Nikki.
We love you, Annie.
And I'm here to activate fear.
And so it is.
Hi, my name is Ariana.
We
We
love
love
you.
you, Ariana.
I'm here to activate divine alignment.
So
And so it is.
My name is Love.
We love you, love.
My name is Gavin. I thought you changed your name. I was Love. Like, you know, it's not unusual around here. I'm here to activate a return to the source through the deactivation of our memory loss of our infinite creative worlds.
And so it is.
Hi there, I'm Samara.
We love you, Samara.
Thank you. And I'm here to activate childlike, abandoned, and unself-conscious freedom.
So
And so it is.
Hello, Corporal. We love you. I'm here to activate this moment.
And so it is.
My name is Rainbow Thunderheart.
We love you,
To represent, bring our understanding underneath the heart of the rose, activation, to clear the energy of fear, sadness, sorrow, and pain, bringing the heart of the rose, dropping the thorns back in to activate this vortex this morning. For us all, to clear the fear from this sacred place, as once was long ago, as the tribal nations understood this, and kept it that way, it's still here. Now we're here to clean the energy, to promote the rain. So I'm a rainmaker, peacemaker, promote this morning. So thank you all for showing up.
So hello.
Next time I'm going to go first, because how do you follow that one? I didn't look left when I decided to make that move.
There's a process built in the vortex.
Okay, so we're going to open the vortex. So, yeah, I'm about to. I'm working it out, man. I'm still processing what he said. That was a lot. You know, this is a day of healing here, so I really just want to open up that idea that we ourselves in this community can really represent a new process of dealing with the tragedy that's happened here. So I really believe in that, and I want to activate that open healing space in our community, that it may be a beacon of light for not only the rest of the nation, but people world.
So it is.
There's a lot going on this time. So what we're going to do now, feel it it's coming from right here. We want to do a little opening up of the crystals and get this place vibing out.
To clear the energy force fields in here. So this will take us about 5 minutes to do. We got all day, no time, no time. And for me as a messenger, to open our hearts is to drop the thorns, the negative thoughts and emotions of lower vibrational thinking patterns. In order to open up this vortex, which will be opened in a few minutes, there's a mirror there with as above, so below. So you see the crystals are pointing downwards as they're pointing up and on the surface. So as a Native American, these are rock art writings and petroglyphs that talk about the original instructions to promote peace on the environment. So this is a vortex that sucks, it's like a vacuum. It sucks in all the negative thoughts and emotions in the particles of light through the ley lines known as the strings of light. When I activate this today, all the thoughts that's been in this area for 500 years of fear, fighting, war, separation, suicide, murder, killing, and death has brought on fear. So the police department has fear of the homelessness has a fear for the control through the police department, and then that represents you having fear for yourself and fear for others around you, not being able to look each other in the eyes in the street, fear, fear, fear. So when I open this vortex, this is called the Heart of the Rose Crystal Altar, And through our Shoshone nations, our emblem or symbol is the rose. So when I open this crystal, it's with a song. This vortex is rose crystal, which is the vibration of the rose lines or the energy lines, or known as the spirit lines. And these spirit lines communicate with the elements, which are the buildings, the trees, the soil, the insects, the birds, and all things, because we imprinted them with those thoughts. So in order to get you to understand how this works, it's very important, because you're the ones that's going to help clear this fear out of the environment here that is the deaths. In many forms and ways, is a representation of those who sacrificed their times and effort through this young man who perished, and through the police officer who sacrificed himself also. So these two representations sent themselves here long ago in this matrix to bring us to have a beautiful awareness to find peace. And that means everything is okay, because they contracted to be here at this time to bring us into a great awareness as us that would bring awareness, that knows how to bring peace. So as a peacemaker, Bovado represents Rainbow Thunderheart, which represents the colors of light from the heart from the Grand Tetons in Wyoming, which promotes the life force energy all the way to this sacred place here, it's electrical current. Your spirit is made of 7 colors of light. And through that, this is what we're here, that heart is a rose. So through this ceremony, when I activate this with a song, I ask you to open your hearts. Now all of you have a way to meditate. You do that individually, your own way. Everyone has a way. If you're here, you've been in many of these activations, so I ask you to do it on your own. The rest of us will do it for you. We'll ask that heart to open. I'll sing a song. When I go around there 4 times one way and 4 times the other way, that's 2 vortexes, the Kundalini, which we as Native Americans call the serpent wisdom, serpent energy. So when I go around there, that vortex is going to open. And today, the intention in the prayer is that all the fear, the anger, the hatred, and jealousy and resentment gets vacuumed out of you into the circle, because your thoughts are the rest of the people's thoughts, because they are another you out there. So you're representing them. For another, we are another each other. So when you start this ceremony this morning, or this activation, through the help of putting a full circle around here 2 directions, is this power, and then energy will go up and go down like a big pillar of light, go out to the universe and go down below the earth to the core of Mother Earth's heart. That energy will provide a power that will clear Venice. It will be you who will be doing that with your thoughts and intentions. And that means you're, or to consider to release. Or I'm here to make you understand. Now I'm here to really make you. That means I'm going to tell you how to do this. I'm going to take your free will. Oh, let me change that. I'm going to change the word make. That's forcing you into submission. I'm now going to clear and clean those out of the environment and say, I would like you to consider to create a power that will bring a healing and a clearing to yourselves. For the oceans, for the sky, for the soil, and for the fire grid. Because when you do this, this is what cleans the energy, and this is what we've been doing to promote water and rain, and activating the springs and bringing back the snow for the winter. And this is what we're going to do in full circle this morning. Now, it may not be what Andrew thought it was going to be this morning by me coming.
I don't think about it much at all.
So, anyway, I'm taking 2 minutes within the time, and no time might be 15 minutes, which is no time at all.
I'm so lost.
Excuse me.
It feels good. It feels like I'm going to do something.
So this is about having fun and being joyful and doing the best we can today, because, you know, time stands still, and taking time out is taking the time to clear energy. It doesn't happen, boom, just like that, we're done and it's over. It's moving slow like a turtle, and a turtle moves left and right. So the turtle raises one leg forward, it sees way behind it, goes forward the other way, it sees behind the other way, so it sees full circle all the time. It knows where it's going, it goes slow, it never misses anything. So we are on Turtle Island of the Americas of the Red Nations, and we're here to activate all the other nations to remember what this means. This is a time of peace, and when we have peace in this valley, or the valleys of these lands in the west coast, there will be rain and precipitation of love. which will promote the water to come back. Remember where that water, so in your water is those messages of dysfunction. And I'm asking you to change your dysfunction into be functionable, high vibrational energy at this moment. So when I sing the song, it's a vibration. And when I come around, the drum's going to hit you. When it hits you, it's shaking your cells. And at that time, I want you to release your anger, your hatred, your jealousy, resentment about the worst thing that you think is so bad and so terrible in your life from your mother to the time of now. And then when that does that, you will open that vortex. Because when energy goes high, boom, it'll open up the heart of the rose there. And when, that's all the roses and all the different flowers. That's why they're there, the high frequency. So that's what we're here this morning for in many directions, in many ways. So like at this time, what I'd like to do is if anyone has a question, please feel free so we can understand where we're at, where we're going, and what we're doing today in a way. Is that all right with you, Billy?
Did you say specifically issue with your mother? Is that what you said? Like, you
Say that
said you want us to go back to whenever and clear the anger with our mothers?
With your mothers and your fathers, and maybe 7 generations before that, and past lifetimes for your ancestors in your DNA. Because whatever happened to your ancestors falls upon your head, and that's the curses of resentment, pointing fingers, all that. Do as much as you can, whatever you know about it. Okay?
Or let's just do it. How about that?
And so it is.
So it is. So we'll have a... Sure.
Just if, I know I'm a mover, and then the way I release is by shaking or just like this, so feel free if you feel something and you want to release it that way, please.
The drum will activate as the shaking. So when I come around you, the drum's vibrating, shake all that stuff out. Shake and rattle and roll. If you want to stand up and do it, feel free. I think it'd be best if we stood up as I come around and sing the song. And then when I go around that 4 times, that's going to open. And then whatever we say today is going to become. So today it's very important because of what we've been told. What you say, what you think, you'll make happen. So be very careful with your thoughts because it's going to go in there and it's going to replay.
All right, let's do this. Ready. So the interpretation is we're going to clear and cleanse ourselves right now.
So Maura's going to help burn some sage. And the sage, put a prayer on it. And the thought is going to go clean and clear as we're going around the circle. And the prayer is the smoke. Is the thought that's imprinted into that smoke. And in that smoke is a power. That's a thought that goes into the environment. So if I put a thought on this, I fan you, then the thoughts I put on here will clear you. It's the energy of thought. So it's clear yourself, clean yourselves up, do the best you can. These are the ways that we can do this as nature. About the law of attraction. What we think is what we attract. So again, this intention is to clear these crystals. These crystals are magnets. Magnets in here, and animals and birds, all kinds. And this represents the betterment of all things. We are here with thoughts and emotions that affect the birds, the rivers, and the streams, and the springs to shut down. By cleaning, clearing yourself today, we're going to promote water and rain. We're going to create rain. We're going to bless the energy like we did in the last few days when the lightning and thunder came. It was clearing the energy on many sacred sites for many, many months. All of us working together has been doing this with all these water ceremonies, earth ceremonies, wind ceremonies, and fire ceremonies. So this is the law of energy, and walking makes a current with every footprint around the circle. When I turn and go the other way, I put another vortex in here. These are the 2 energies that we create. To get you to understand this, is to get you to understand how peace can be in Venice peace, because you're the ones that's going to keep peace in this area. You're not understanding because you got all these high-level information to help be peaceful, loving, caring. If you're not understanding how the environment works, you're going to have a situation that's going to replay. All of history repeats itself because every word, every thought, every action gets recorded in a crystal matrix in the ley lines. And this is why Andrew has asked me to come help you. And not only that, the Great Spirit on earth has asked me to come help you. count myself too, we're all clear in it together. Again, thank you all for doing the best that you can. Keep yourselves clean and healed up. Cleaning up your thoughts and emotions. Everyone's got something going on. No matter who you are. So the smoke has prayers and thoughts in it. The reason we're putting this in because there's been many thoughts in this building, in this room. Of fear, sadness, sorrow, pointing fingers, judging. All that has been in this room. With all the good things too. So bless the negative and the positive so they're both one. People come and go out of this building. Remember everything I said, started in all the equipment and everything. When I sing the song, there were some more I want to do with issues. When I'm singing a song for sound healers, I like some more to make just a sound with a bowl. And as she's going the opposite direction as me, we're going to create an energy. And I ask you to dump all your thoughts. And I ask you to dump all the energy of fear here to the police department, to the homelessness, and even through you. Because of what's happened. And this will work. Because this is how I open the springs to birth into existence and other forms of things that has taken place to the environment. When you open the doors, so you can get some of the birds outside and smoke. I'd like to thank you all for having a lot of love and coming out to represent the city. I put a lot of prayers in for the mayor, the city council, and all the environmentalists, and everyone on the streets, and everything everywhere. So remember your thoughts are going to create that at this moment. Remember what you think and what you say becomes. Here you go. So this is a creation song. We're known as creators. Your creation, you're given songs that represent something as we sing it. It's what the intention is to the song that it was made for. So this is a part of the rose song that represents love. So as I come around, it's a love song. And the love that I'm feeling for all things will touch your heart and you clear that. And when that is cleared, it goes to high enough vibration. There's a frequency that's going to activate. We go higher. When it does, then these crystals will open up. And they have their own free will too. None of these crystals are programmed to do anything but only to hold light and to hold your thoughts that you will say today will create this power to bless this day. And to bless this day all the way through. To bless the police department, the homelessness, and at the meeting at 5 o'clock. Think about at 5 o'clock how we would like it to be in the most powerful way. In the name of peace and love for the betterment of all things equally. Because this is what we can create. And remember, where 2 or 3 are gathered, they have the power of the great God, the great Spirit, and the knowledge of the Lord. There's many of us here, so we have a humongous power in the full circle. And I thank those of you at Full Circle, each and every one of you, not just Andrew, because without you, he wouldn't be here. So he owes things to you for coming and supporting the circle. And you owe things to him. So that means we're all giving service to each other without paying anything, but giving service. So here's the song. Love so below, center. So all of our ancestors above us and below us. Holy angels of light, company of heaven, call upon you, our hearts. Oh
the singing in 4/33 its pitch, so it's just like you're in the pitch. It says a lot because all of us listen to music that's 440 hertz, so we are all accustomed to it. We sing in that resonance. It's just disharmonic. It's arbitrary. It's not determined by nature. He naturally sings in the more healing pitch. So when I just played the first note, there was no disharmony. It was just like straight, pure. So I just wanted to mention that. That's really awesome. I've never found that to be the case ever before with anybody else.
I'm reading your facial expressions. I can see your
Oh
tone.
yeah, it's awesome. You know, it's amazing. Because toning is one thing, and then toning in the right resonance is a whole other thing. So
And or the sort of, I guess there's like an evolution experience overall happening. So the idea that one's right, one not even that, just that this is where we're all sort of toning and harmonic.
it's not right or wrong. It's more like more closer to our truth and farther away from our truth. And however, I mean, if you can, I guess we sometimes say that's righter or wronger, but it's ultimately our own way of dealing with how we see that. Because it is oscillation. It's like a waveform that oscillates. And that's us back and forth, shadow, darkness, light. It's all connected.
This is so great. How's everyone feeling now? I feel fired up and feel more harmonic. All right, so on that note, literally, I'm at a loss for words at this point. This is just a very, as I was mentioning earlier, we really never have a plan per se. You just kind of open to allow what wants to happen here, and so that was unexpected to some degree, and exactly what's supposed to be happening. And so now, the part that I did know was going to happen is really cool. So a few months back, I was introduced to our guest today, and we are sort of talking today a little bit. Obviously, this is very much a project or a center for us to be together in a spirited way, and this the work that she's doing is similar in spirit, but it's also being done in what I would call the systems that exist. And so we've had a really great time kind of looking at both of these two projects and seeing how they can work together, harmonize, and create that world that we all see here. So that is the little introduction, I suppose, and I'm really excited to have you. There's a lot of stuff that you're welcome to share as far as the future with what we're looking to do, but if we can have a little round of applause for Christina to go on.
I was actually hoping today we could almost have a little bit of an exchange,
Sure.
as in like a communication between you and I, because I haven't come here planned anything. I really am in the moment, and to hear the vibrational, the unity, learning so much about Nikola Tesla, and knowing that is a really component, I think, that is going to bring and unite the world, and to be able to experience that today. Thank you very much, and I look forward to getting to know you much better throughout the years. My name is Christina Tobin. I'm the founder and chair of the Free and Equal Elections Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission is to create open and transparent elections through education. So, at 33 years of age today, I've been at this since I was 17 years old. and it was, I've been, and I guess, Andrew's experiencing in the political realm can be very challenging, as a kind way of putting it at times. It can be vicious sometimes. I sometimes wonder how I have lasted this long, because there were a lot of moments of uphill challenges that we've gone through. At 17 years of age, when I saw my father ran for governor, for those of you who are new today, of Illinois as a third-party candidate, I saw him wrongfully knocked off the ballot. His name's Jim Tobin. And for 35 years, he's been running his own organization, fighting on behalf of taxpayers, keeping taxes lower in Illinois and nationwide. And so many years later, 4 years later, I successfully got him on the ballot as lieutenant governor. just that, if you know Ralph, Christina, I need help getting on the ballot. Can you help me out in Illinois? You're the only one that knows how to help. Alternative third-party candidates, independent. He ran. And so I did it, and Dad supported that, which was pretty cool. That being said, a couple of years later, I helped get the Green Party of Illinois on the ballot. 2008, I worked nationally for Ralph Nader, and successfully got him on the ballot with a team. You are who you surround yourself with. I really loved what I heard earlier. Andrew is here, but what is he without all of you? It's a coming, and that's how I felt with the team that I felt in 2008 as an organizer. Overcoming the challenges, being told, but even Ralph had maybe some doubts, because in 2004, he was successfully knocked off the ballot in 32 states. The Democratic Party sued him in 32 states, and he was knocked off the ballot when he ran for president as the Green Party candidate in 2004. So going independent is much more challenging. Not to go into too much detail, you're starting at 0 ballot lines. But because of the team that was built, we were able to successfully get them on the ballot in 45 states plus DC. But the reason I'm telling you this is because I've been through some serious challenges of being told there's no way you can overcome the odds. This is impossible. You're up against the system, the party system. You're not going to let Ralph on the ballot. But when you build a good team of people who believe you can overcome the obstacles. So from that point forward was the free and equal elections, the creation of it in 2008, that is, when we hosted our first presidential debate at the Mayflower in DC, of which independent Ralph Nader spoke at, participated, that is, and Constitution Party candidate Chuck Baldwin. It was moderated by Chris Hedges, the Pulitzer Prize journalist. And so it was a little overwhelming. We had about 24 hours to put together this debate, if that. I had a day and one person with free and equal elections. So it was the two of us putting on this presidential debate. And literally the day after, C-SPAN decided to air it nationwide. And that was the creation of free and equal elections. The first debate aired nationally, alternative to the Commission on Presidential Debates. And so I bring up the Commission on Presidential Debates, and I can go into more detail briefly on that, but in 2012, I decided to go full-time with free and equal elections. We hosted a presidential debate in Chicago at the Hilton, moderated by broadcast legend Larry King and myself. And Larry is quite a character, nonetheless, but boy, does he know how to stand up for some great causes. And it was an honor having him be there, but we got to see candidates like Gary Johnson from the Libertarian Party, Jill Stein, what a beautiful individual, she's actually a singer herself, and run as a Green Party candidate, to Rocky Anderson with the Justice Party, who's the former mayor of Salt Lake City, Jill being a doctor, Governor Gary Johnson being the former governor of New Mexico, and then finally Virgil Good, a former representative. So 4 really qualified candidates that are not included in the Commission on Presidential Debates. Because, like mainstream media, the Commission on Presidential Debates is probably, if not, one of the most powerful tools that the party system uses to divide us. And it's run by the former chairs of the Democratic and Republican Party. You look at big sponsors like Budweiser and so on that back it. If you look at the board of directors, that includes members of the CIA, it's some really kind of creepy stuff. And what they do is this dog and put this game, of the parties. It's like a business, and we ain't in it. That's how I put it. Like, we're not in this business. Third parties, independent candidates. So, working and being endorsed by Dennis Kucinich, to Dr. Ron Paul, to Ben & Jerry's, to Dr. Bronner's Magic Soaps, we're working with Marley Coffee, Rock the Boat, Ed Count, to Project Censored, Antiwar.com, all these different full circle, of course, and many organizations. We're now going to be hosting our second annual United We Stand Fest this fall in Colorado, which will be, I feel, the beginning of a uniting movement to empower people, to inspire them to once again realize that your vote can count under a system that isn't flawed. Yes, it's currently flawed, but we can fix that. So registering vote, getting engaged, getting involved, and that's where this community part comes into play, being here next to Andrew, because I've met tens of thousands become larger, they inevitably become infiltrated. And with the polls coming out that over 42% of voters perceive themselves as independents, while only 28% Republican, 25% Republican, and 32% Democratic, there's a shift on the rise. And, and with over 80% of voters wanting to, according to the polls last year, to replace every member of Congress, and listening to leaders that have paved the way for this movement, from Ralph Nader to Dr. Ron Paul, Jesse Ventura, Ross Perot, all their different ways have paved this way for this movement, this independent uprising. I really do foresee that we will begin to replace some, if not a majority, of members of Congress, beginning with the 2016 races. I have no fear. Our keynote speaker, Amelia Boynton Robinson of Selma, 103 years old. She's actually 109. It's going to be documented. Her sister, they switched birth certificates, I guess. 109 years old. And she marched the bridge, the Selma. She was, to bring this up today, she was beaten by the police and left unconscious for dead on the bridge in the 64, I believe. The March of Selma, which led into the March of Montgomery, into Bloody Sunday. She had Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks come to her home. This woman is an angel warrior. And I have been humbled to recently interview her. She was on the bridge of Selma. The 50-year anniversary was in March, I believe, holding President Obama's hand. But the Democratic Party, they haven't done anything to personally help her. She is somebody, the grandmother, the great-grandmother, the great ancestor that I feel leading in the 1920s in a carriage with her mom, registering people to vote in the 1920s, to running for Congress. She was the first African-American woman to run for Congress in the 60s in Alabama, garnering over 10% of the vote. She wants people to vote. She, one day, Selma, one day, changed America for 50 years. And to have her one day, this tentatively September 19th in Colorado, one day can change America for, for many, many centuries to come, because we have the power of the internet, social media, and so on. So I just really am excited to be here today, working with Andrew. The artists we have today from 5 to 9, from just meeting Mike here and the vibrational, I can't wait to learn more about the numbers. I'm going to take a notepad. I'm just excited. That is definitely a solution right there in bringing people together throughout the world. To the artists, Peter Harper tonight, and Paul Masvidal, and Casey Barrick, and others as well. I foresee more artists coming here, and I'll be happy to help. I'm not going anywhere. I live up in the Central Coast, and there's something about the tie between Venice and the music and Colorado and the community. So I just want to say thank you, Andrew. People can be a little, when you're in something the first year, I can tell you, I've been at this for 7 years of free and equal elections. There can sometimes be a lot of feedback of like, why isn't this person this way or that? Or I've gone through it my first 2-3 years, but it's an evolution. And the short time I've known Andrew, there's this evolution, this desire, this will to become, to really achieve it. He has no fear, I feel, as well. I can't say that lightly. I've noticed that in some of the interviews. And so, you're so new at this, and the evolution and growth you've had is to
this place to me is very authentic, and we've gone through a lot to keep it that way. I do find it interesting to be sitting between both of these worlds, these ideas of something that really is truly of this land. I mean, the indigenous people were of this land. What you experienced earlier was something that's been practiced for thousands of years. And in a lot of ways, from what we understand specifically about the LA Basin, the Tongva were a peaceful tribe. And so they lived, they did ceremony, they ate food, they had a life here. It wasn't this competitive, hateful, driven experience, which unfortunately we see a lot of. I mean, you drive down the road, any day around here, someone's honking at somebody, doing this, that, whatever. It's like, I mean, really? Like, you gotta go faster? Like, you got somewhere to go, that it's worth doing that. And so, again, just a little reminder that, again, with all due respect for the system itself, I feel like its agenda is to keep people kind of in that fear state, and it feeds that system. And so, my personal opinion, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I'm not sure that there's a fix per se. I think the only thing we can all do is just do what we're doing here, is really sort of find peace within and let it happen, allow it to happen. And I think it's important, of course, to be involved. By the way, I've been all over the place my whole life, and been kind of jack of all trades, and just very not focused until this experience. And this came at 36 years old, and I really never would have thought this was what I would be able to do. And so, keep yourself open to whatever is your journey, whatever is your path. We have space here. There's a lot of things to do here. Today is going to be obviously a crazy day. We're happy to just be home for new ideas and participation. So I'd like to just open up to anyone that might want to contribute a thought or an idea or share this, because it's about everyone equally equal. Harmonizing. I was trying to say that earlier. Harmonizing. Into this circle, into what you see. I mean, does anybody have a specific feeling about the election system? Is anybody not into voting by chance? Because I've never really been into that. I just want to be honest about it. I haven't been connected to the system that way, and yet I'm very inspired that we can certainly co-create something here in Venice. So I'm open to that idea. A new independent party. It does seem clear that there's agendas in all of the existing systems. I think that's kind of something interesting, is something that can be born from this time, that has a different intention set.
Well, I'm looking to see what you contribute, and I want to turn to a principle. So, years ago in my marriage, I found myself in a state of complaint. And I was standing in the doorway complaining to my husband, and I heard a message in myself that said, complaint is an abdication of responsibility. And I didn't want to hear that message. I was in the middle of complaining. But it stopped me in my tracks, and I worked with that consciousness. Well, how does that work? Is complaint always an application of responsibility? So the way it fell out, complaint is an application of responsibility, dependence produces complaint, you can't get to satisfaction from complaint. So I worked with those three things, and I thought, well, how does this work? What about in the political arena? Is complaint an application of responsibility? And I remembered some story about like Austria or someplace where everybody must vote. Every single person does vote. And they own the vote at the end in a different way because they know the country voted.
electoral college, and then you bring in the whole aspects of mainstream media and the presidential debates and the corrupt music industry and the Hollywood and the brainwashing. They have brainwashed us to become, for the most part, not necessarily this crowd, apathetic and to not care and to ignore, because that's what they want. They want us to give up. But I do foresee that the shift's going to happen quickly through music. And Dr. Ron Paul once said, if you're ever going to bring about revolutionary change, and I always say, drop the R, evolutionary change. We have the internet, social media. You're going to need two things, the youth and music. So doing that, I foresee in the future, not only will we be able to, through the tools that Free and Equal Elections, the initiatives that we'll have from our marketplace to our network, to our election assistant online app that will list every single candidate running for office, Ds, Rs, third parties, independents. It'll highlight how much money is in their campaigns, so people can see now that they can't hide behind labels, party labels anymore in the system. I think money campaigns are going to work against a lot of candidates in the future, and ones who are asked by their community to run in local town halls throughout the U.S. and so on are going to be the kind of leaders that our constitutional forefathers, whatnot, had seen and wanted in a truly accountable government. So at that point, when it becomes exciting to vote for somebody you really like, truly, and you realize that your vote actually is going to count, because we can make that count, we can do it. I think that this is going to be, when we rise in America, the whole world is watching us, and the whole world is going to follow that. So it's pretty exciting.
I got goosebumps. I got all running down. Yes.
And I think she's absolutely right. It's the music. The music cuts right through the conscious mind, and it gets to the subconscious. And when we have the entire political discussions that are out there are designed to separate us from us, and every single debate, every single thing that people are talking about is a separation, idea separation, consciousness. And so what we can do is, as individuals, is to watch our thoughts so carefully. Is that a thought that separates me from nature, me from my fellow human being? If it is, I choose to let go. I choose to end those thoughts within me, and we can each take responsibility that way. And when we hear the thoughts out there, they're not mine. I don't accept them. And not to get hooked into anything, any thought, any idea, any campaign, anything that is of that separation consciousness.
We had a great teacher here a few weeks ago, and he was telling a story. He's in a wheelchair. And it's an incredible story of how he's a drunk driver hit him, and how the process of getting his life back together. He was a very avid mountaineer, and to not be able to use his legs was a total shift in his life. And he came up with the 7 principles of the Zen warrior. I'm going to hope to remember them all, but I've got most of them. But being present, this sometimes I consider like a 2-hour meditation. Checking constantly where you're at. Are you present in this moment? Are your thoughts going somewhere else? Are you thinking about the art walk? I've had a few of those moments today. I thought about where we're going to move everything. But being present in this moment so that you're engaged with everything around you. The second, accountability, which kind of leads to some of what we're talking about here. Clearly, our systems don't have a lot of accountability. We see that. So, but within ourselves, we have accountability. The third is persevering. If you're passionately doing something that is the truth, it will not be easy. Money can be easy. Jobs can be easy. Persevering. So that's the third. Fourth, adventure. It's got to be fun. Can't be too serious, okay? Got to have fun doing this experience of being a human. The fifth, which you were talking about, is unattachment. To be willing to not have an expectation that you're supposed to be one way, or I put all my, kind of leads to complaining a little bit too, because it's easy when you don't, if it doesn't happen the way that you expect it to, then it's somebody else's fault. And we're all guilty of that at some point. 6, what's the 6th one?
Authenticity.
Authenticity! My favorite word! Because that's just it. Is this real? What you're doing, is it real? Or are you doing some shit that you learned from your parents or some other things, or you're living in some pattern? Do what feels right. And it's another thing that's not always going to be, I've been dealing with it quite a bit this week. The world is a dog-eat-dog world out there, so don't expect them to necessarily, recognize that easily. And then the seventh is the greater good. Is it serving the greater good? So this was the Zen warrior teachings of a few weeks ago, and I just thought it might be a nice thing to kind of let us all settle in on as we move into the meditation. Yes. Okay. And then we'll move into meditation here in just a minute.
Okay, as a First Nation representative of the First Nations of the lands of Nawak, we call it, which is Turtle Island, which everyone else calls the Americas, North Central South America, that we had a system that's still here, that everyone is working towards, is a free will system for the betterment of all things equally, where everything has a voice. The trees has a voice, the rivers, the mountains, the mycelium network, this electrical current. All of these things has a voice of consciousness. Those of us who are psychic, intuitive, hear this wisdom. Now within the political arena, they're in their heads, basically. And the people who are voting for them are in their heads. But a time is coming, that's been here for a while, is that this energy that we are promoting is the energy coming from the galactic center, known as the Milky Way. It's a frequency and a vibration of colors of light that only is promoting for the betterment of all things equally. So anything that is not going to be that in this dimension, the third dimension, what we're living in through these man-made laws and religions as controlled societies cannot last. It will fade away, collapse, and disappear. This is why things are happening. So in order for humanity to be aware of this, is we are here to bring consciousness as the First Nations about what this means, from the Native American peoples as the Red Nations, and for you, the White Nations, the Yellow Nations, the Black Nations, and the Brown Nations. These are the Aborigines. So through these colors of light, we are the 5 star nations on the planet. That's why we have 5 fingers. These are the 5 major cultures that are on the planet. But because of the things that we're going through, we forgot. But when you begin to remember in these sacred circles, you begin to understand that any frequency, any thought, any word, and action that is not for the betterment of yourselves is an energy that goes out into the environment and gets recorded in the crystal energy, because we're made of crystals. This is why we're called the rainbow people. So this color of light is the auras we promote through the 7 chakra systems and much, much more. But the thing is, anything that is said gets recorded in the environment and replayed in the crystals. And this is why history repeats itself. Until we get leaders who understand this in the new government, there's going to be new governmental laws under sovereignty as individuals and for the betterment of all things equally. These laws will be reinstated. The new technology, the new finances, and the new educational systems are coming into being. But in order to get there, it's important for the independent individuals that will stand up for these rights. And those of us who are here, I feel, will vote for them. Because if we're voting for those other candidates, we're wasting our time with bringing others in a way. But then it's also not a waste of time, because what's happening is the unity consciousness of the frequencies coming in is awakening all the wisdom in us that is a memory of all that it is. So they will get it sooner or later. But those of us who are awake, get it now and bring it through. And in the web of life is an energy force field of a matrix that sets in a circle within a circle, like the sacred sites. And this is a message to those politicians and others alike, like our sister here. So I'd like to talk to you more about this so we can educate the political system in the future. That music, sounds, and tones and vibrations are what's going to clear the energy out of the environment that controls humanity, is vibrating in the force fields of electromagnetic energy held together by the earth, wind, fire, and water. Now, to vote for this wisdom and knowledge is to vote for a knowledge of Earth Wisdom Foundation, which is the knowledge of the First Nations, which has been here through the Tongva and through the Mission tribes, through the Mayans and the Aztecs. And all of you came to America to help represent this for peace for the world, because this is a new Jerusalem. And we're the ones that's going to promote that. But for us to understand this, I would like you all to consider to get in touch with me that has a political arena, that has a musical arena, environmental arena, because these laws that I'm talking about are the laws that are going to be coming in underneath the frequencies of light. that you all have information and wisdom about that, because your purposes are to promote your gifts and your awarenesses of who you are, why you are, where you're going, and what your purpose is. Once you get connected to your heart and cleaning up the 7 years or 7 generations in your DNA and other lifetimes. Now this is high-level information for others to consider because they are in low frequencies. They're controlled. So anyway, through these things,
I know
well, wait. So I know we got a lot of things going on. So I just want to say this, and I know you got a lot of things going on, and today is one of those days. So we let the crazy go and bring in the adventure and beauty, and know that we have all the times there is. So I know what I'm saying is not important, but it is important for those who think it's important, and it's not important for others. But it's your free will choice to consider this wisdom. And that's what these crystals and the Earth Wisdom Foundation is promoting, to bring back the precipitation of the light, which is the rain. And in the rain is the bows, and the bows are the orcs, which are the orc covenant that promotes beauty on the planet. So I'm going to stop right now. Because I'm going to stop right now because our brother is getting overloaded. So anyway, blessings be to us, and I really ask you to communicate with me, from the actors, the directors, filmmakers. Please come and let's visit, let's educate, and bring in new wisdom and clarity to the industry and clean it up. Blessings be to us.
So much information. There's so much passion. I love it. I love it. We are going to now see how we're doing. We are going to hand it off to Torben, who's going to give us a nice 15 or so minutes of.
Hi everybody, so I don't have much to say, let's just kind of dive in, you guys ready?
So basically, if you want to get comfortable, you can lay down, you can sit here.
So I've dedicated my life's work for the last 3-4 years to making it as easy as possible for all of you to dive in, with no need for a technique, no need to worry like, am I meditating properly? I can still hear my mind, is this working? All of that stuff, we can just let all that go. I struggle with the same dialogue myself, and that's why I've created this system. It utilizes sounds, natural movement of sounds, and specific pitch to take care of all of the, as we call them, chattering monkeys, and also at the same time saturate the body to allow it to really dive in on a cellular level, experience a physiological kind of cleansing and moving through using sound on an atomic level of your entire being, including your mind, spirit, and the ether between space between your cells. And you are big bags of liquid. Sound travels through through water 5 times faster. So take all that into account when having this experience. We're going to go for about 20 minutes, and I will pull you out at the end. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. Much love. Blessings.
feeling? Good. And I did it again. Figure out a new word. So there's a few things to wrap up here today. Of course, I want to mention that, first of all, thank you guys, which we'll get back to that at the end. Tonight, we're doing this fundraiser. By the way, if anybody was curious, I'm drinking kombucha. So.
Oh no, you did.
Yeah. Sorry. Put that in there.
The cops are gonna see it.
What's that?
The cops are gonna see that on the
I know. It's,
Well, they won't be able to prove it by the time they see it.
it's only tea. Okay, moving on. We're gonna let that one go. So today we have this very special memorial service in remembrance for Brendan Glenn, and for those of you that don't know, a very tragic incident happened here in Venice a few weeks ago. So as it relates to us, representing this community and being a spiritual center, we jumped on board and brought together a lot of the community. So a few of his friends are going to come tonight. We've invited a police chief as well. The councilman was invited as well. So we'll see it all come together here. The musicians are going to play a little bit of music tonight. Michael Vince will be playing again. Pete Harper, the Makes, Paul Masvidal, I don't say that funny. Casey, the Siren. I think there's a few more. Sal Masakela. So it's going to be a really great night of people coming together. Of course, there's the art walk happening outside. And let's see, am I missing anything? Bobna will be there, of course. Christina. Yeah, so thank you all. We seem to have misplaced our donation box, so we're going to have the bamboo donation bowl. And if you guys don't mind, we'll put it out there. If you would be kind enough to drop something in there, it helps us take care of all of the things that go on here. And yeah, I think as far as announcements, just go out and have a great day today. And if anybody has anything to throw out there before we wrap it up, yes. Just 1 second. Yes.
Thank you. My intention is to express this in a minute or less in the most understood, effective, and efficient way for the collective, and it's most importantly at the heart and soul of Full Circle, which is you, Andrew. So it's us, but as a reflection of your consciousness helping to catalyze this in the most genuinely divinely guided way. My name is Jaron, and I've actually come full circle to where I've been traveling the world for the last 4 years, learning spiritual principles and manifestation, karmic release, which is all in essence sound vibration. And the reason I'm here today is my soul sister here at Caleb 3 days ago. She said, "Hey, you gotta come to Full Circle." And then yesterday I had another one say, "Hey, you should go to Full Circle." And I just moved back to LA 2 months ago, and I normally go to Agave on Sunday mornings. Many of us heard of Agave, my perspective. Yeah, I love that. And in throwing in momentum, principle 4, 7, 5, a little bit of humor.
I realize we've run a little over the time, so we're going to wrap it up. I just wanted to leave off again thanking you all for sharing today, thanking you all for being here today, of course. There is some discussion about this United We Stand Fest in 2015 this year, so we'll be working on that. FullCircleVenice.org, everything is on the website. The afternoon also starts at 5 o'clock, and we'll be around all day, so if you guys decide to come back, we'd love to have you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Let's do one ohm together. And just to answer your quick question, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We're just in it every day, and that's what this space is all about. And I invite you to come and share what you've learned, because it's really just being a grounded space, and everything is coming to you. You again? What now? Oh boy. All right, let's do it all. Let's do it all together.
Today, when someone gets a thought hurt, you're out there, someone says something, you take it personally, you come here and drop the thorn. These roses are here, you put your thoughts in here, take them from your heart, you clear it, you drop it in here, then it clears you. And today, there's going to be a lot of things that's going to be going on with people. So this is under the heart of the rose, we want peace, so you're going to be clearing it. So today, this is what this altar is for. Whatever you drop in here creates you to bring this into being, like our brother said. This is when we create energy under a torus tube of energy that clears the earth and the planet. So if you want to put a prayer for someone today, these roses are on these petals are on the rose. So take any color and drop it in here. Your prayers are called for humanity, for wherever it is. So that's the word. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Bob. So if we all just grab a hand and we'll just do one. Actually, let's do 3 ohms. Everything that almost great intentions that we put in here. So Kyle, get in here. Brett, come on. All of y'all. One big happy circle. Brett's been sharing in this, and he's been volunteering, and he's pulled together this live stream. So thank you, Brett. Eduardo, of course, from the very beginning, man.